Hello everyone, this is Supersnoopy here, back with another SWTOR video. Today I have you guys another SWTOR discussion video. In today's SWTOR discussion video, we're just going to be talking about, my long-term opinion of the game itself. Now I wanted to make this video mainly because, I just want to kind of go over, what I think of the game after, playing it long-term, just constantly playing the game. I just want to, kind of talk about, what is really fun about this game and why I still play it, and just some of the downsides at the same time. And just kind of going back and forth, just just talking about some of the long-term stuff I've noticed while playing this game. So hope you guys enjoy this SWTOR discussion video. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like. And if you want some gaming mints, then you can check the link in the description below, Catalyst mints. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the discussion. Alrighty guys, let's get into the discussion right now. But yeah guys, as I said, this is going to be a video that's basically, talking about, my long-term opinion and views that I have, formulated from playing the game for quite a while. Now, of course, I am going to be talking about, some of the good pros about the game that I've noticed, long-term, and some of the cons that have, happened and appeared throughout the game itself. Once again, this is, my opinion, and if you disagree, then that's completely fine. But it would also be awesome if you could leave a comment down below of some of your opinions and views of the game in the long term if you have played it for a while. But anyways, like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead, just get right into this. So the first thing that I do want to mention is long-term opinion is that this game actually has a ton of content to offer. Now, a lot of people would say currently at its current state that they aren't releasing tons of content monthly. Which, I could, obviously say that is, pretty true that they aren't releasing as much content as they did earlier on in the game itself. I guess say like at the, the current time. They are releasing, Knights of the Eternal Throne soon, so that's going to be pretty cool. But, at the same time, they aren't releasing, as much content as they did, earlier on, as such a fast rate. Which, clearly, that's kind of something that can be annoying. But, if you were to walk right into this game right now, or, you played for a little, I say, a while back, and you just want to get back into it, then, yeah, this game has a lot of content to offer, and it really can, I say, allow you to do a bunch of different stuff on your spare time, if you just want to get into an MMO or play a game. Then Star Wars Republic, it does have a lot of content to offer itself. It's just that, once you complete all that different stuff and you get to the end game and you've basically completed everything the game has to offer, it can get a bit boring and stale at some points, which is why, some players have decided to unsubscribe at, certain points of the cycle of the game, which, that's completely fine. Is that, if you are getting bored of the game, then you shouldn't, obviously, I say kind of like force yourself to play it, because, after all, you are paying a sub, $15 a month, usually for the game. So, that's just something right there. Honestly, it's pretty funny. I haven't even completed all the class stories of, Star Wars Republic, which, some people would say, you could easily complete that in a week. But, even then, I mainly play a bunch on my commando. So, that's just one thing to note, of course, is that, I don't actually, level a bunch. Which, it's pretty funny because, clearly one thing to note is that, the leveling process can be pretty fast in this game, and it's also, really fun to complete the, story itself and just do it with a friend. But of course, I've been lazy, and I actually haven't bothered to do that. So, that's just something right there. Another thing that I have noticed, of course, is that, this game, I guess it's pretty simple when it comes down to, the UI and different stuff. You can kind of, like, jump right into it. Even if you don't play MMOs and stuff, even myself, I actually didn't play, like, any other MMO before this game. So, when I jumped right into it, it was pretty simple just to get the, I say, hang of it and just get into the concept of what to do. Even then, it's the same thing, if you were to, play, say, World of Warcraft, is that, it's simple UI. You can just kind of, like, jump right into it, just get a basic idea of what to do. Which, that's also something that's kind of nice, is that this game is, pretty, new player friendly. It's not like you walk into the game and you have no idea what to do. Because, one thing that they also added, I forget when they did actually add this, but one thing they did add, of course, is where they have tips at the bottom when you first start a character and stuff, so you can kind of, figure out what you need to do in the game. But yeah, from my long-term opinions and what I have, formulated, is that, this game is pretty friendly for new players, and it's also, has a lot of content if you were to start right now. Which, that's pretty cool right there. even then, a while ago, I mean, they were creating content a lot faster than they are currently, which, I mean, that is kind of disappointing right now. But at the same time, I say just kind of going back to when Shadow of Revan was announced, we got that expansion where we got to complete the Shadow of Revan story. We got 2 new operations. We just got, a bunch of different content, new planets, just exploring all that different stuff and, enjoying it. I mean, I think, honestly, in my opinion, even though clearly, the Shadow of Revan story wasn't as, wasn't really that good. I mean, in my opinion, I didn't think it was, a super great story. I mean, it's still enjoyable to play and just go through all that different stuff, but definitely, wasn't the absolute best story. But I mean, even then, we got the new operations, just got the new planets, just, a bunch of different music and different stuff added to the game, which is something that was, really awesome, is that, we got all that different content. I mean, even then, at the time, I was completing the level 55 operations, the Dread Forces stuff, and then, Shadow of Revan is announced, and, I'm like, oh, hey, new expansion, new operations, all that different stuff. So we got that, of course, just played with the guild, completed all of that different stuff, really enjoyed it. So, I mean, of course, we did have that right there, which I think, that's something that is, something really important to note, of course, is that, in my opinion, I think the biggest highlight long-term for playing for a while is definitely was Shadow of Revan, because we got, all that different new content. Now, I mean, honestly, I didn't play, actually, stopped playing for a while, when Rise of the Hutt Cartel came out, so I never got to, fully experience, when they added all that different stuff with that expansion. So, I mean, that's just one thing to know. I actually did pre-order the expansion, but I never bothered to play it when, it was first released and whatnot. So then I kind of, jumped in when we had, the Dread Forces and then those operations. So that was definitely, a lot of content just to jump right back into. Then, of course, we had Shadow of Revan, which, honestly, in my opinion, was definitely a really high moment in the game. So we had all that different stuff. Then we had, Knights of the Fallen Empire, which is, something that was pretty cool. Just, getting a bunch of different, new story elements and stuff. Now, I mean, they didn't release any, operations and stuff, which was, very disappointing, not gonna lie. But at the same time, I say I was just kind of hoping and just waiting to see if they would announce new stuff. Then we have Knights of the Eternal Throne now, where they haven't announced, any operations. They did announce, some quote-unquote group content. So, I mean, I guess we will have to see it for that. They did mention that they might do, or they will actually focus on 2017, group content. So that's something to look forward to. I mean, long term, that's just some of the, the pros, of course, is that, this game can be very new player friendly. They have, it actually has, a lot of new content for a new player. I did have, I feel like the biggest, up moment was definitely when Shadow of Revan was released. I mean, some people would disagree on that, but still, once again, that's my opinion. But, I still felt like, there were some, pretty high moments. Even then, just in general, I have made multiple discussion videos on, a bunch of different stuff that I do like about the game. All the cool stuff that the game has to offer. Now, for this next section, I'm going to make it pretty brief, but I am going to go over, a few cons that I have noticed. Just, long-term opinion of, just playing the game itself. Now, one thing definitely that I'm pretty sure almost any player can notice is, the lack of group content. Quite recently, actually. I mean, after Shadow of Revan, we did get Zyos, and then we got, the Monolith Operation, that's actually right here with this weekly. And, I mean, that was pretty cool, not gonna lie, just taking down the world boss and then the ops boss there. That was definitely fun and enjoyable. It did give you a challenge. But after that point, it seems like they basically didn't do much with group content, and if they did group content, that was a bit repetitive and boring at some points. They did, of course, scale back some of the stuff, so that was, definitely pretty cool just to go ahead and have, the old operations, just make them fresh again. That's definitely something that is really good, and also something that I really do like is that, they decide to rescale the operations, so you can just, continue to play them and enjoy them, at the max level. But at the same time, I would, kind of wish, I did kind of hope that they would release operations sooner. Now, I do still have hope that they will release them in 2017. Now, I mean, they did mention, I actually forget where this is. I will actually, try to find an article and maybe put in the description if I remember. But I believe that there is an article where they do mention, BioWare does mention that they're going to try to focus more on group content in 2017. I know I did mention that in the last clip, but still at the same time, I believe that they did mention that someplace. So that is something important to note, of course. because I mean that would be fun, of course, just go back into that, complete some of that group content, and then just work together as a team and just complete the different tasks that are I say with the game. Another thing to note, of course, is just the feel that they made the gameplay direction I say a lot easier than usual. I mean, I did mention this in my last discussion videos. I feel like even though the game is new player friendly, I still feel at the same time that they did kind of dumb down a lot of mechanics and made stuff way too easy compared to what it was before. So I mean, I can actually understand why they would do that, but at the same time, I wish that they would just tune some different things up. But yeah, those are some of the simple things that I feel like they should focus on and fix. Of course, I just wanted to make this video kind of short. I mean, I could honestly go on for quite a while in a discussion video, just make this a really long video, just make it like 30 minutes, just basically talking about all the different stuff that I have seen, just as a long-term opinion. I might do that eventually, but for now, I'm gonna make this video a little bit short. Just just wanted to get a couple facts and just personal opinions, just from a long-term player's perspective. I mean, there's a lot of good things that have been in this game and a lot of good things that have been added and are going to be added eventually. At the same time, there are some cons here and there that should be mentioned. So I hope you guys enjoyed this SWTOR discussion video. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.